first commercial break, and that was just the start. This is the story of the unreal collapse of the Dana Carvey show and the legacy that's way bigger than people realize. Now, before we start, give this video a like if you remember this glorious failure, and subscribe for more retro TV deep dives. Okay, let's go back to 1996. Dana Carvey had left Saturday Night Live 3 years earlier after 9 seasons and was, at that point, comedy royalty. He created some of the most iconic characters of his generation, like the Church Lady and, of course, Garth. And then there were his impressions of Ross Perot, George H.W. Bush, and many, many others. Wayne's World had made him a movie star in 1992. He followed that up with 2 more movies after SNL, Slate, and Trapped in Paradise. He was bankable, and naturally, networks wanted a piece of the Dana Carvey cash machine. Enter ABC, a network that was crushing it at the time. They had Home Improvement, which was pulling in around 20 million viewers a week, but naturally, they wanted more. They came to Carvey with an offer that was hard to refuse, a primetime sketch show where he called the shots. They envisioned a crowd-pleasing variety show with all of the SNL characters, entertaining America at 9:30 right after Home Improvement, a time slot that would open the floodgates of Carvey's movies potential. Remember, this was before movies and Netflix. Viewers up to that point had to wait until 11:30 on Saturday to watch Carvey do his thing. With an earlier time slot and Home Improvement as the lead-in, this looked like a smash hit waiting to happen. But ABC was about to get a lot more than they bargained for. Enter Robert Smigel. Smigel was Carvey's longtime collaborator from SNL, a writer and performer who had just turned down an offer to return to the show as a producer because he had a different vision. He wanted to build something that felt nothing like SNL. He wanted pure absurdism, sketches that didn't make sense and made no effort to explain themselves. It would be unlike anything aired on American network television. But of course, teamwork makes the dream work. Smigel and Carvey indeed assembled a dream team. The writers legendary CK, a future Emmy-winning comedian and one of the most dominant stand-up voices of his generation, as the head writer. Then there was future Oscar-winning screenwriter Charlie Kaufman, Robert Carlock, who would go on to co-create 30 Rock with Tina Fey, future creator of The Office, Greg Daniels, John Harrison, all future showrunners and writers coming into the streets. And when it came to casting the on-screen talent, everyone wanted in. Tracy Morgan, Jimmy Fallon, Anna Gasteyer, all auditioned, none of them made the cut. Instead, Smigel went for unknowns. He personally cast Colbert, who he had known for years and tried unsuccessfully to get onto Late Night with Conan O'Brien. Colbert was so desperate for the opportunity that he sent in a homemade audition tape using his newborn daughter as a puppet. And then you had Steve Carell, another virtual unknown, who was selected after auditioning. This would be his big break as was to find out. Rounding out the main cast was Tony Shaw, a Second City veteran, Elon Gould, a New York stand-up comic, and Heather Morgan, who was just getting her feet wet on network TV. So you had heavy hitters in the writer's room and virtual unknowns on the stage. That's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it worked out for them. The Dana Carvey show premiered on Tuesday, March 12, 1996, 9:30 p.m., right after Home Improvement.
Hello.
Massive 21
Hello.
people tuned in after watching Tim Allen grunt and misuse power tools to see what Dana Carvey had in store. And what they got was not what they were expecting. Carvey as president of Bill Clinton at the desk. Now that sounds like typical Carvey SNL type stuff. An impression of a sitting president, slam dunk. Well, it was anything but. In this, the cold open, the first thing viewers saw, Bill announced that he wanted to be both mother and father to the American people. You can be both father and mother to our nation. And then demonstrated it by breastfeeding puppies, kittens, and a baby doll from a set of multiple prosthetic nipples attached to his chest. It was bizarre and to many grotesque, especially when you understand the context. This was the Home Improvement audience watching Bill Clinton breastfeed, and the viewers didn't like the taste of that. ABC's switchboard lit up immediately. Roughly 6 million viewers changed the channel before the first commercial break, and they never came back. But that was only the start of the chaos. By the end of the night, Taco Bell had pulled its sponsorship. So did Pizza Hut. Taco Bell was actually the title sponsor of the premiere. The show was literally called the Taco Bell Dana Carvey Show on screen. actually something the show did every week. They changed the title based on whoever the sponsor was, like shows did in the 50s when variety shows integrated sponsors directly into the broadcast. The Mug Root Beer Dana Carvey Show, the Mountain Dew Dana Carvey Show, the Pepsi Stuff Dana Carvey Show. This wasn't just funny or clever, which it was. It was big money. To have your brand featured like that on prime time was not cheap, but there was also a huge risk. If those sponsors were unhappy with the show's content and they failed, that's a lot of money wandering out the door, not including other ads they'd run during commercial breaks. And this is where panic started setting in for ABC. PepsiCo, which owned Taco Bell as well as all the upcoming sponsors, wasn't failing yet, but expressed concern about the show's content. At that point, the sub-brands like Taco Bell were making their own decisions, but PepsiCo pulling out 100% would be a disaster. Now, normally at this point, as a show, you'd maybe tone it down a bit, make a few adjustments, because you know you don't want to lose all your sponsors and have your show canceled. Instead, Carvey and his crew doubled down. The sketches remained bizarre and viewership dropped. Episode 2 drew around 15 million viewers, down 6 million from the premiere. But then things seemed to stabilize. Episode 3 actually saw a bump up to 16.7 million viewers, and episode 4, which featured David Letterman, had a bigger spike at 19.7 million viewers. Might I add, that was the episode that came right after the Home Improvement episode where Jonathan Taylor Thomas had a cancer scare. One of the most heartbreaking episodes of that show's run. And it also made for one of the funniest juxtapositions in a commercial ever.
Oh, fuck it.
But despite the ratings bump, ABC was still in panic mode. PepsiCo was on the brink of failing and taking all of its sub-brands with it. So ABC, in the effort to keep the show afloat, kept going to Carvey begging for more family-friendly and ultimately advertiser-friendly skits. Carvey and Smigel said no. Instead, they got sketches like who are nauseated by food, in which Steve Carell and Steve Colbert violently gagged and retched while describing menu items to diners. It got to the point where ABC's standards and practices folks were in constant battles with the writers over how much on-camera bridging was acceptable for prime time, which is kind of crazy because this kind of stuff was actually funny and very well acted, but remember, it's 1996.
Oh, wow. Holy crap, that was awesome.
The sponsor was Szechuan Dynasty, a locally beloved and Chinese restaurant, funny but kind of a step down from a national brand. And episode 7 had no title sponsor at all. Ratings had
Battle Bus, 100%.
million viewers, which by today's standards sounds awesome, but not when you're following one of the top shows in the country. And that was enough for ABC. On April 30th, 1990.
These are the little hook thingies that I was talking about for your plans. I'm trying to... You just like put... This is what Dad's done. He's put our fairy lights and they go all up our stairs. That's what I was talking about.
They canceled the Dana Carvey Show. 7 of 10 planned episodes had aired, and 8 had been fully produced but deemed too radioactive to broadcast. It includes...
Right now, you see more humanitarian aid coming into Gaza than it has any time in the past 5 years. So if you want, sir, to complain about what happened in Gaza, why don't you complain about
Joe Biden. Joe Biden
was God on the side of the Americans who liberated Holocaust camps and liberated those innocent people from, those who had survived the Holocaust? I certainly think the answer is yes, and I agree. Jesus Christ certainly does not support genocide. Again, hey, random dude screaming, I told you I'd respond to your point. Here's my response to that. When we came in, the humanitarian situation in Gaza was an absolute catastrophe.
Thanks to Joe Biden.
The person who got a peace agreement in Gaza,
Donald J. Trump.
So if you want, sir, to complain
Fuck off.
Sanctioned Chinese oil tanker Starry has successfully passed through the Strait of Hormuz. Despite the active naval blockade, the American warships present in the area did not stop it and took absolutely zero action against it. The vessel quietly crossed overnight, clearly broadcasting its Chinese ownership on its signals. Reportedly, the sanctioned Chinese...
I mean, I'm just happy he's circumcised. What if I get somebody who's not circumcised? Run out of the room screaming. It's like finding a gun in the street. Just scream and get out of there.
No way. You guys, uncut guys are great.
Really?
Oh, they're always so nice to you because they know their dicks are gross.
I mean, I'm just happy he's
That's-
circumcised.
Are you suffering from a serious life-threatening illness? Has your doctor told you you're probably going to die? My name is Dr. Donald Trump, and I have helped millions of patients with conditions just like yours. Cancer, heart disease, ALS, you name it. Conditions your doctor said were untreatable. I've seen them all, and I fixed them all. I use an advanced technique that the cheating medical establishment don't want you to know about. The results are, frankly, incredible. Nobody gets results like this. They're the greatest results.
They need 6 weeks to live, and then I call the hotline, and it's entirely through the phone.
I was clinically brain dead, and my wife was about to pull the plug when the doctor saved my life.
If you or someone you love is suffering, don't wait. Don't let the corrupt medical establishment tell you what's possible. Call 1-900-NOT-JESUS today. Let's make your health great again. Are you suffering from a serious life-threatening illness?
For this, or these, or the inside this, I need to be treated with some dignity. Take me on a property, I'm not some cheap pussy. I've never felt that, ever.
Would you like to go out to dinner with me tonight?
Think about it. Yes. If you want this, or these, or the inside this, I need to be treated with some dignity. Take me on a property, I'm not some cheap pussy. I've never felt that, ever.
Would you like to go out to dinner with me tonight?
To think about it. Yes. If you want this, or these, or the inside this, I need to be treated with some dignity. Take me on a property, I'm not some cheap pussy. I've never felt that, ever.
Would you like to go out to dinner with me tonight?
To think about it. Yes. If you want this, or these, or the inside this, I need to be treated with some dignity. Take me on a property, I'm not some cheap pussy. I've never felt that, ever.
Would you like to go out to dinner with me tonight?
To think about it.
This toilet roll has a sketch in which an anchor pre-taped grotesquely detailed obituaries for living public figures, including one for Gerald Ford so dark that ABC just flat out refused to air it. Funny enough, that sketch eventually made it to television essentially unchanged just months later when Carvey hosted SNL in October of 1996. Anyway, this was a huge commercial flop for Dana Carvey and Robert Smigel, but more disastrous career-wise for Carvey, because for living public figures, including one for Gerald Ford so dark that ABC just flat out refused to air it. Funny enough, that sketch eventually made it to television essentially unchanged just months later when Carvey hosted SNL in October of 1996. Anyway, this was a huge commercial flop for Dana Carvey and Robert Smigel, but more disastrous career-wise for Carvey, because he was the main guy. It was his name on it, and his momentum ground to a halt. And really, when he looked back, it was a massive miscalculation. Carvey and Smigel had been offered deals with HBO and CBS. They chose ABC because they were, in Smigel's own words, overly tempted by the prime-time profile and the massive lead-in audience. In trying to reach the biggest audience possible, they ended up with the wrong audience. Still, Carvey seemed to have no regrets, saying that he did not compromise anything, literally, in a completely commercialized environment, and exactly what we wanted, for better or for worse. But as I alluded to, this basically stalled his career. He did Master of Disguise in 2002, which was critically panned, named one of the worst movies of the decade, and from there he chose family and selective creative work over chasing stardom. Yet, despite the show's commercial failure and Carvey's career fading as a result, his show played a major role in shaping pop culture for the next 20 years. Steve Carell Madeline Smithberg, co-creator of The Daily Show, had seen the Waiters Who Were Nauseated by Food sketch. She loved Carell and Colbert's work. When The Daily Show was building out its correspondent roster, she brought them in specifically because of that sketch. Of course, this rocketed both of them into stardom. Carell would eventually leave The Daily Show to pursue film, with his breakout hit being The 40-Year-Old Virgin, then following that up with Little Miss Sunshine, and of course The Office, Despicable Me, and so many other projects. He's arguably the most successful actor of the century. Colbert would do his own spin-off of The Daily Show called The Colbert Report, and eventually take over The Late Show from David Letterman, ultimately becoming one of the most influential voices in American political comedy for 2 decades. As for Smigel, he went back to SNL as a writer and producer and turned the cartoon ideas he started on The Dana Carvey Show into the legendary TV funhouse series, including the ambiguously gay duo. In 1997, he created Triumph the Insult Comic Dog for Late Night with Conan O'Brien, then went on to co-write films with Adam Sandler, including You Don't Mess with the Zohan and Hotel Transylvania. Charlie Kaufman wrote Being John Malkovich, adaptation, and won an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay for Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Karloff went on to co-create 30 Rock. CK, before his 2017 sexual misconduct admission, was one of the biggest stand-up comedians of the 2010s with his FX hit. That's a lot of hit shows and movies and overall influence on pop culture that, especially in the case of Colbert and Carell, wouldn't have happened if not for this show and Robert Smigel casting unknowns. And really that speaks to the quality of the show. Quality wasn't the problem. It was the wrong audience at the wrong time. According to writer Dino Stamatopoulos, we were basically making Adult Swim shows before Adult Swim existed. He was right. It was ahead of its time. But luckily, the right people saw the talent, and for a show that lasted just 7 episodes, it's hard to find a production that pound for pound left more of a legacy on comedy than The Dana Carvey Show. If you enjoyed this deep dive, give the video a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.
Hi, my name is Taylor Tomlinson, and I feel braggadocious about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
That's a very good one. I like
It's a
that.
really good one.
Try bragging about it, though. It's not going to
Oh, I have.
Oh, you have?
Oh, I have, yeah. I sent it to my sibling group chat this morning, which is very active, and my youngest sister wrote back in all caps, "Holy fucking shit! Say hi to Sona for me. I love her so much. And Matt, my idols." And then in lowercase, love Conan too.
Oh, that was a body blow. That was a punch. That was a punch to the solar plexus, and I wasn't prepared for it. So all the wind has gone out of me now.
I liked it.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
No, it's very helpful because a lot of people ask, like, have you done any cool shows? Like, when people don't know that you're successful, they're like, well, have you done any cool gigs? And you're like, kind of. And going on tour with you is always my answer.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's really nice.
We had a blast.
We
It
had
was
so much fun.
I don't know what your memories are of that, but I'll just bring people up to date. We did what was it? This is before COVID, 2018, and maybe the cause of COVID. We're not sure. There's the Wuhan theory, and then there's the Conan tour theory.
It was weird you had a lab on the private jet.
I had constantly being experiments. Weird viruses.
You're like, is that a bat, Conan? Just work on your set.
Yeah, hey, tighten up that ending. Okay? Why don't you worry about your stuff and let me worry about these bat viruses that I'm concocting. You know, we all have hobbies, okay?
What's your hobby?
That's my hobby. Yeah, I need to be more careful about keeping that shit in the lab. But anyway, we went on this tour, and I remember my distinct memory of you was, I would say most of the audiences were really good.
Yeah.
And they were really terrific audiences wherever we went. But I remember you just being absolutely fearless in a way that blew me away because you were so young.
Oh, thank you.
And I was very impressed. I was like, this person doesn't know fear or is not showing that you have fear. But you would go out there and you would kill it, and you had a sense of purpose that I found to be incredibly impressive.
Oh, that's so
and
nice.
you know, you're like a third my age, and I just was blown away by that. You know? I've actually done the math. Yeah, I'm 79, and you were 11 on that. So
Yeah, I was like, is Conan 90?
fight in the Korean War.
Yeah, I think I was 24 at the time, and what I found is that if you start really young, people are very impressed with you, even if you are trash. So, who knows how good I actually was, but it's like when you see like a dog skateboard, and you're like, he's not supposed to be able to do that. You're like, is he a good skateboarder? It's like, no, he's a dog, but he's doing it.
He's doing it.
Yeah, which is more than we ever thought he could do.
I'm not going to say you were a dog on a skateboard. I'm not going to say that. You're a hilarious comedian, and one of the things that impressed me is we talked a bunch of times, and your work ethic and the I don't want to say pressure you put on yourself, but you have a very high standard, which I found to be incredibly impressive.
Oh, thank you. Well, again, when you're younger in this business, I think you get certain opportunities when you're young and you want to prove that you're worthy of them. So that's certainly an aspect of it that contributed to that pressure. And then also I just want to be really good at my job. I think it's more fun when you're really good. But yeah, I mean, that tour was so insane because I remember like the first night maybe we all had dinner and you like pulled me aside afterwards and pointed to like, hey, just so you know, really glad you're here. You deserve to be here. Like you kind of picked up on my imposter syndrome, I feel like.
Right.
And made a point to be very encouraging, which I think you did with everyone, I've heard.
Not with Funches.
Well, he's very confident.
Yeah, he's an imposter.
I
know we all feel like we're imposters, but you Funches. No, I absolutely, I'm picking on this guy because I absolutely adore him, but first of all, you showed up to the tour and you were sick.
Oh yeah, this was back when it was impressive to push through an illness.
Yeah.
Again, 2018. I think I had like the flu the first leg of the tour, and I came back the second week, and everyone was like, nice to meet you. Because the first week I was just in so much pain. I was trying not to even drink water because we were on a private jet with Conan O'Brien, and I'm like, I can't be in this bathroom.
Can I say the most impressive thing? Yes, we got a jet for certain legs of the trip, to get us from here to there. But the economics of the tour was, this is how it's going to work. If there's 11 of us on a private plane, this can all work. So we did that, and about halfway through the tour, I remember you guys saying, so Conan, when you bought this jet, how did you pick out this wood grain? And I said, wait, what? And you guys were like, when you bought this jet, and I remembered, I think I was saying to you, I said, this is not my jet.
Yeah.
We're leasing this jet for this tour because the tour is helping to pay for it, but I fly commercial, I don't have a jet. And I said to you, what made you think that I have a jet? And you said, you've been on television my whole life. And I'm like, so therefore you must have a jet. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I
my jet is American Airlines. Hi, American.
I remember
Like a little less big.
Conan doesn't have a private jet. Who the fuck does?
Well, I say, like, this is a thing with me, is I see people, and I know that it's a big sign of success with, like, Instagram people and influencers that you fly around on a private jet. And I always tell people, do you know what that shit costs?
Oh, yeah.
And none of your children will ever go to college if you're flying around on those things. It's not going to happen. So I'm very happy you hitch a ride with someone, or if the tour will pay for it, great. It's lovely. But I just knew, when there was that moment where you guys were like, oh, so Conan's jet's pretty nice.
Oh, yeah, we all thought that was your jet.
I should have kept my mouth shut, too.
Yeah, you should have.
And I should have worn a big fur coat the whole time.
You should have. I remember, too, we were all scared to take the photo in front of the jet, but we wanted it, obviously. The minute we saw the jet, we were like, well, you got a picture in front of this jet, right?
Right.
But we were like, it has to be a group photo, we have to time it. So I think we waited till, like, the last day, maybe, of the first leg, and I remember Ron was the one who was like, yeah, we're taking a picture.
Oh, fuck, let me get him.
Jet. Of course. And we were like, oh, God, okay, let's just do it. And we were also like, can we ask Conan to take the photo? And then, like, is that okay? Like, I don't know if
Oh my God.
I knew you the best of anybody, but I'd only met you for moments on your show.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know what you were going to be like. And I remember just he was helping us. Like,
Did your respect for me drop a plummet?
oh yeah, it was. The veil was pulled back. And we were like, maybe he's not as
Oh! Ah!
Shoulders with us.
I was raised in a religious household, very Catholic, but Catholicism, they can play it fast and loose, you know. You were raised in a very Christian environment, and your early work in comedy was sort of in Christian comedy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I started in churches when I was 16 because you can't go up in clubs until you're 18. So
Right.
I hadn't been in a comedy club until I turned 18, and once I did, I was like, oh, this is like where comedy's supposed to happen.
Not in church.
Not in church, as it turns out. But, you know, I think that maybe that was good as a foundation. I worked really clean for like the first 6 years probably that I did stand-up. And then when I turned 22, I actually got fired from a church gig opening for a big church comic because of something that I tweeted that ended up being a joke that I did on your show.
But this is the joke that got you sort of kicked out of the Christian comedy circuit, is that fair to say?
Yeah, it was like the last church gig that I was still doing was opening for this guy, and they called me and were like, hey, like, you can't be tweeting stuff like this, like, that's not good for our audience.
Can you tell us the joke?
The joke was, even today, I'm, as an adult, very sexually conservative. Not that I'm bad at sex, okay? I'll have you know in bed, I am a wild animal. Yeah, way more afraid of you than you are of me.
That's such a good joke.
And I was so happy that it ended up on your show.
Yeah.
Because in my first late night set on your show, which was like, by the way, all I wanted for years was to have a Conan set.
Oh, that's nice.
And it was maybe the first moment that I felt like, oh, I might be a real comedian now. It was like
What's a guy? What's a guy?
I was like, okay, we can set some
White, single, gay? Is that what you're saying?
literally all I wanted to do.
That I'm happy for you. White, single, gay? Happy for you.
Now I've done that, and so now everyone's like, what do you want to do now? I'm like, I think I did everything.
I'm done.
I did Conan and his
I'm
tour.
26. So
Hey Sam, there's somebody watching who's white, single, and gay.
tweet that joke out. They get upset.
Oh, what's good? Oh, sorry.
That the limitations are great. I think the limitations are
Well, I had 2 games in a row and I won them, and then oh my dog shit. Oh my dog shit.
you had to work,
Oh my dog shit.
work in this very specialized environment. So
Give me
you
some
weren't
more.
taking a bunch of shortcuts that I think a lot of other people would take.
I'm not very good with youth.
I think that's true.
Youth
But
speak.
Also, coming up in church, I
Oh,
don't think
ooh.
you're exposed to as much stand-up as you are when you're doing open mics in clubs in a bigger city.
Right.
Because then you're more aware of like what's already been done and what's kind of a hacky premise. And doing church gigs, nobody's really worried about
Oh
that.
my
It's
God.
such a small
That was fun.
Right.
scene, I suppose you could say. So, you know, I look back on it, and I think in some ways it was really good. I was also going up in front of like hundreds of people for 15 minutes, and a lot of times getting
What's
funny,
good?
and I'm like,
What's
this
good?
is
I don't
stupid.
know.
That
What's
should
good?
not have been happening.
A burger? Burgers are good.
Is
Oh,
the
church
money,
money's amazing.
do they
It's really good.
do they pay you like in ones and different rates that
Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Give me all this yum, yum, yum.
They are, the ones are damp with holy water.
Bye, Felicia. What do you mean, bye, Felicia? I didn't do anything.
You get a lot
Mean.
of wine. You get a lot of...
What's up with you?
Crazy. Like, I had to have a conversation with my
Bye, Felicia, me.
manager and agents where I was like, I can't do churches anymore. And they were like, what about this money? And I was like, I can't. Like, I'm being dishonest with them because I'm not a Christian anymore. And I'm not going to be clean all the time anymore. I'm going to speak how I speak in clubs and talk about what I want to talk about. And if you are a comedian performing in churches, they want you to be that all the time.
Yeah.
And that's why they're all, you know, middle-aged married guys, because they're Christian and that's their lifestyle, and they talk about their family and going to church, and, you know, good for them. That's who should be doing it. But I didn't want to be somebody who was pretending to be something that
Hey,
I
I'm
wasn't.
good on skate. Oh my god.
Some sort of success or
I'm good on
financial
skateboards.
stability. But yeah, the money's really good, and you're kind of like, yikes.
Felicia,
So then
me.
I just did like 8 cruise ships the next year to make up for it.
So you went from Christianity to cruise ships.
I have done, and there's sometimes I feel like an imposter, and then I go, I've done literally every gig that you could done churches, I've done corporates, I've done clubs, I've done colleges, I've done cruise ships. I have done everything, and I'm glad that I have, because now I know there are so many different ways you can make a living as a stand-up. I mean, when I did cruise ships, I was miserable. I could not have done more than I did, but the guys doing these cruise ships, they're happy. That's their life. They're like, in 3 months I have a land gig. I'm like, a land gig? I'm gonna get out of here.
It's a way different. The bar is very different.
Yes.
To be on land. What? In 6 months, terra firma. The nightmare that I've always heard about cruise ships, and I've never performed on a cruise ship.
You'll get there.
I'll get there, trust me. I know my trajectory all too well. I will be on a cruise ship, but
Maybe on a cool, like, Illuminati cruise ship, though.
yes.
For, like, celebrities.
Yes, where the real money is.
Yes.
They'll all be wearing robes.
Yes.
I'll be nude. But that's my preference. That was not even a request. Other people are wearing robes. No, the horror apparently on a cruise ship is that if it doesn't go well, you are trapped with the audience for 6 more days.
Yeah.
I've spoken to comedians who it didn't go well, and so they stayed in their room the rest of the time, because if it doesn't go well at a club or in a theater, you're gone, you move on, you literally get out of town and stay. This is quite a different experience where you're trying to go get your spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah.
And you're in line, and the people on either side of you hate your fucking face.
Yeah, I would sleep all day until about 5 o'clock, which was right when the buffet opened. And then I would get to the buffet right when it opened, so there weren't a lot of people there yet. I would eat very quickly, and I would put some fruit in a purse. And then I would go back to my room, and I'd squirrel that away. And then I would go do the shows, and then, go back to my room, and then wait for everyone to go to sleep. And then I would, go to the gym and walk around the ship while it was empty, and everyone was sleeping. I can't believe I got depressed on these, right?
I'm always obsessed with where the good crowds are. Are the crowds
Royal
pretty good?
Caribbean.
Are the crowds on a Royal Caribbean
Yes.
decent?
Yes, they are, because the ones that I did at least, they had a comedy club on the ship, which is, it feels like a comedy club in like Toontown, where it's like, this is what a comedy club looks like, but it's like,
Right.
And you only had to do like 25 minutes with another comedian, and it's free. It's one of the free things you can do on the cruise ship because it's all inclusive. So it was like, by the end of the week, everyone had, most of the people were coming twice. So the first half of the week, these guys would have the 25 minutes they did, and then the second half of the week, they would have the shift 25 that they did, which was all about what ports we stopped in, and the buffet, and all their shift jokes.
Yeah, diarrhea.
Yeah, of course.
You gotta get to diarrhea.
Who's got the Imodium, right? And it was, but I did some that there was no comedy club. You were just in the piano bar, and you would perform stand-up, and it felt weird, and people were walking in and out, and there were kids at some, and so Royal Caribbean was one that when I did, they had a comedy club. It was adults only, and you only had to do 25 minutes as opposed to 45 or something. So I only did maybe 7 weeks of it, and not consecutively, but by the end I was like, these are the only ones I want to do.
Hey there. Welcome to Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. That's a legitimate opening to the show.
That's the problem.
We do so much bullshit right before, and you're like, okay, everybody stop. And then you're like, hello there. I know we've talked about this before, but it never stops being funny.
Well, okay, let's be honest with the listener that seconds before I said, hey there, and welcome, we were babbling back and forth, and Sona, you've been using a lot of Armenian words today.
Yes.
Now, the one that you just used just seconds before we started, Matt burped.
Yeah.
And then you said something. What did you say?
I said anush.
Anush. What does that mean?
Anush means, because I'm speaking Armenian to my babies. So when they burp or, fart or something, I go anush, which means I hope that was delicious.
I hope that was delicious.
I hope whatever made you do that was delicious.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see.
That's no, like I hope I know that you're belching because you ate something. Like I hope it was good.
Oh,
And
I like that.
that's
Yeah.
unusual.
Okay, I'm going to use that with my daughter.
Yeah, it's nice.
The
Yeah.
other one is you and I have been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
And when I get comfortable with people, I sometimes, when I see them, I grab them by the shoulders and I give them a little pat on the back.
Like 5 minutes after meeting someone, you'll do that.
6 minutes. But anyway, I saw you today, and sometimes you'll strike me, and maybe I'll give you a little pat on the back.
You grab and you shake a lot.
I grab and I shake to try and improve people's circulation.
Oh, is that right? You're really dancing the line to make sure people know you're not like abusing people. And you are abusing people. You've abused Blay for a long time.
Well, Blay, for a while, I was trying to teach him to be what to do in an attack.
Oh, you were.
So I would strike him occasionally. And Blay, you were fine with it, weren't you? Okay, we're good. All the time we have. So Sona, I was giving you like a little, Sona, and I grabbed you. I was excited to see you, and I gave you a little shake on that, and you said,
I said gamat.
Gamat.
And I say that to my boys who are 10 months old. One of them especially. I say to Charlie.
One of them especially is 10 months old?
No, one of them especially. I say it more often because he's very rough, and he's still learning about his body. So I'm like, gamat, whenever he's like petting him.
What does gamat mean?
It means like slow, like gentle. And when you were like shaking me and being Conan, I said it to you almost instinctively the way I say it to my little baby.
So the relationship you have with your 10-month-old twins is the same relationship you have with me.
I'm trying to teach him how to be a human being.
Yeah,
this makes sense.
And I say the things to him that I say to you what I say to him when I'm teaching him how to be a functioning human.
What's you're teaching? You want them to only know Armenian, or do you also want them to know English?
I don't want them to know English at all.
Yeah.
Of course I want them to.
That's what I was getting to. You want them to be strangers in a strange land their whole lives.
I want them to have little accents.
Now, how does that work? How do you balance it between English and Armenian at home?
Usually we speak to them mostly in Armenian.
Wait, but they need to know English too.
They'll learn. My first language was Armenian, and I learned English. Don't
you have problems. What? These are very hard for